Vignesh from Arel and his team helped us with the whole journey. So I just wanted to have a quick 5-minute flash talk on how we did it. So this is our company. So we have a B2B channel, which is hospitalshop.com, B2C, HealthSook, and we have a small manufacturing facility, Truster. So this is our robot. And this is from a German company called Knapp. They are one of the world leaders in advanced robotics. Their customers include BMW, Rolex, Omega, and the likes. So this is a layout plan of how our new city store looks like. You can actually see some conventional racking systems at the back, and we have the big robot, which is 16 meters long, 3 meters high, and about 2 meters wide.
So yeah, hello again. It's Vignesh from Aerel. So while the robot is there on their premise, they are also on Frappe Cloud. So their ERPNext is on Frappe Cloud and the robot is on premise, and there is no static IP. So we brought in zero tier to form a network, and we have a server over AWS. So Frappe Cloud connects to that server in AWS, and then it's part of the zero tier network, and in which there is also one other server in their premise where a Frappe site is running that's handling all the status checks with the robot, keeping the connections live, and for everything that's happening in the robot, there is a status check, there is a callback, all of those are handled there. And within that network, it connects and then it reaches robot. So from Frappe Cloud to robot is just made possible so seamlessly.
So this is a quick demo of how our robot looks like. So what you're seeing is the side view. So we have about 1,000 shelves and 2 picking robots which are moving all sides. So it has got X and Y axis. Both the robots are capable of reaching every area of the robotic warehouse. And we can store about 12,000 trays because our big challenge was to actually manage 8,000 SKUs that we have, and to be able to accurately and quickly pick those using our current software, which is ERPNext.
So yeah, so along with this integration, there is something also exciting happening. So the barcodes of the global standard GS1 and HIBC, so they have so many items in which the barcodes are already coming in, and for the robots to pick up an item which is lying in a tray. So before this, I would like to set a small context. With the robot, there are trays, and those trays are happening to be warehouses in ERPNext. And within those trays, all these items is residing. So we have GS1 and HIBC barcode labeled items, and those parsers for those type of barcodes are also developed, and so you can just say it. So that is for the scan barcode, which comes in default ERPNext is for any barcode that we develop, and this is all GS1 barcodes, and HIBC barcodes coming next. And these are all mapped with the items, and once it's scanned, like it just comes in. So this reduces a lot of manual efforts at their end that maybe Saju will explain more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, apart from the excitement of having the robot, but this one really changes the game for us because we can automatically create batches and expiry dates and store everything in a click of a button. So like this, so you just scan the supply barcode and boom, your batch number is created and expiry date is created while doing the purchase receipt or while taking things out through a sales order.
And one more thing, so this GS1 and HIBC barcode parsers are all available in SAP and Odoo. So Saju's been pushing us to get this as an app and publish it back to the ecosystem so that everyone can just use this. And it will be live in a few months.
So this is the loading of trays.
So they have the purchases, over purchase receipts, the items will come into their warehouse and they pass on stock entries, and during the stock entries, they load the tray with items and it just gets into the robot. And during deliveries, over the delivery node, again, the robot is connected, and for deliveries, they just get the tray out, and that's all in the video now. So you see all the blue color boxes are the trays that are stored in the racks, and within those trays there are the items.
And once the trays are loaded, we have all this information coming back from the robot with the expiry date, the product code, the batch number, and also the storage location updated in the ERPNext warehouse module. And finally, we will just see how we are taking things out from the robot, the retrieval of trays. So with this, within about 10 seconds, we can access 8,000 different SKUs in a click of a button. So this is it, guys. So thank you for your time and for patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, Saju and Vignesh. Coming on stage next is Gupteshwar from Trans with a case study on configure, price, and quote.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Gupteshwar from IndicTrans. Today I'm presenting a CPQ as a case study. So just take a look. Just to understand this case study, I'm just taking one example. So this is a screen from a Tuxedo which configures laptop and desktops. So, I mean, if you go to their website, you have plenty of options to choose to configure your laptop. So, starting from your RAM, your CPU, screen size and everything. So, that's a configure to ship kind of a machine. So, this is one example. So, second example is a ladder. So, we can say it's maybe a dynamic ladder probably, and you choose your ladder, how tall it should be, what the width it has to be, whether it should be, two-sided, extensible, single. So these are configurable or engineering to ship models. So this is the base for this, the case study. Now, while dealing with this kind of products that we ship, be it configurable or to be engineered, then what are the challenges that we face? Like the estimation, because you are better at engineering, you are better at delivering that, but how does the sales should work? Because you have to gather the requirement, you have to code something there. Then there is a challenge because it doesn't go hand in hand. There is a lot of lot of delay and time involves. So that is a first level challenge, that any customizable or configurable engineer to product, the estimation does not go hand in hand. There is a problem, and that need to be resolved. That's a first challenge. Then the sales cycle time, because again, it may take time because you just have to go back to your engineering team, then you have to get to the estimate, then you have to do all the calculation, then you get back. It doesn't end there. It may get into iterative process, and that will end up into a long sales cycle than the actual work. Then again, the accuracy, because these are all configurable customization, and anything which does not fit into your calculation, because if you are doing that on maybe Excel sheet or something, that may go wrong, and it does not in line with your operation, how does it happen, or engineering, how does it happen, and then it will go wrong. So that leads to your business decision changing, and whatever business rules and changing things happening at the operations or engineering does not taken care, because it is at at one department level or at one system, and the sales team is dealing with something else. So there is a gap, and that needs to be sorted as well. Similarly, new models which are being published or being to be enhancements which to be done. So which has been done at the engineering team, that does not go well. So a lot of in advance data creation, that is one of the challenge. This is with respect to maybe the ERP I'm talking, in advance data creation, because you just have to have those items, bombs in place so that only you can make that transaction happen. So these are the challenges what we are trying to solve with this thing. So what could be the thing? So solution for that. So it is a CPQ, what it's called, you configure it, you price it, and then you quote it, which is in line with your operations in place. So these are some of the standard things which we have used, like template items, template BOM, then your attributes, then quotation, and some of the additional things which we have put on top of that, like quotation CPQ and your configuration to that, and maybe the pricing with respect to the attributes, which helps us solve this problem. So right now I am trying to create one quotation. So where we use a standard process, we usually select a customer, then we punch in an item. And as soon as we put in the quantity, we get something to configure. So there are various parameters which been asked, because this is configured to ship product kind of product. So like the color of the item, then like color of the item, then the what height it should be. So we are talking about one dynamic ladder here. So in that, what material it should be made of, then what is the rung width, the width of the ladder. I mean, last minute I configured that, so there is some problem that these attributes are repeating, but that is with respect to the different items. Like some attributes are coming from the one template item which is ladder, some attributes are coming from the one attribute which is railing, and some attributes are coming from the rung. So this is the configurable item that we are configuring on the quotation. So as soon as we save that, we'll get to some rate arrived at that, and one item CPQ is made here. So now let's see how that we have arrived. So this is a template item where we have defined these attributes, which actually gets populated over the quotation while we are defining the quotation, and a user being prompted for these values to fill in. And same goes into the template bomb. So this is related with that template bomb, where the operation and those consumables and the sub-assemblies are defined, and this is a unit part that is defined there. So same goes with different template item. What are the attributes which were defined, and that was repeating. So we can make that unique so that it looks very distinct. Just 2 minutes. So this is an item CPQ, a special, customized doc type, which does capture all those data with respect to that quotation and all the required items. And there is a unit of measure which is defined for the specific numerical attribute, and then the on-run conversion which happens and the on-run calculation which happens, which will try to convert that what was a basic UM that has been captured, and what is the UM of the BUM that is there, and the number of pieces, and that calculation will get you the raw material which is required in the quantity. And so by which we arrive at, be it the BOM was defined for per unit, still we get to the specific calculations for that. And this is a attribute definition wherein that has a numeric value. Sometimes we may have non-numeric values as well. And we have, similarly, that goes per unit, we can define a specific prices. That by that, with that variation, the pricing attribute as well get computed on time. So with which we arrive at a rate, and once this is all at a virtual stage level and virtual doc type that is being maintained, and as soon as we submit, those actual variants, actual BOMs and everything started Okay, sorry for the time constraint, I'm just cutting off. So if anything, query or anything, I'm around to just answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Gupteshwar. Next on stage is Zulfiqar from Tridots with a talk on revenue accounting.
Vanakkam. Good evening. I represent Tridot. My name is Zulfiqar. I'm a chartered accountant. Technically, this is a scandalous presentation because the proprietor of Tridot, Mr. Rajarajan, and myself had a casual discussion about scandals, starting from Satyam scandal all the way up to probably Enron and so on. And then we realized that what is revenue accounting? This is revisiting the revenue accounting in ERPNext. While it, as much as possible, I've kept it least boring, but this is how it is. Okay, why did we take this, and so on and so forth? Now the point is, as far as revenue accounting is concerned, people think that it is a domain of a chartered accountants and professionals. No, we want to break that. Being a chartered accountant, we thought an accountant and a technology could possibly break this mold. So this is our first attempt at that. And I'm proud to say that we are unique in that space, and we would be clearly welcoming people to share their insights. What we are looking at is, we thought we will move this revenue accounting from the human brain more into automation and logics and validation. And that's our first attempt at that. The very eligibility criterion for me to stand over here is open source. Probably I'm running out of time. Why we took revenue accounting and not anything else? Expenses has already been experienced, human resources has been valued, CRM has already been crammed, projects have been targeted, workflows have been already worked upon. What is left is revenue. Revenue is where cash is. So the very reason why we're going for ERP is to probably run an efficient organization, efficient business. Now, what did we do? With one discussion with the client, he challenged us openly. Oracle and a competing product had a better revenue accounting model. We challenged them. This was in mid-February, exactly on the Valentine's Day. We took that upon as a challenge, open source. We worked close to about 2,100 plus lines. 114 validations, logics, and I know for sure about 341 hours of Teams and undocumented, unaccounted sleepless nights. We have a system in place. We are proud to say that it's a working model. What did I run through? 140 accounting standards. I really wish I had done this kind of study while I was doing CA. I would have definitely cleared much earlier. 10 accounting principles. The best part is the business practices. These guys who run the businesses would probably challenge me. We went through 23 ERPs, how their revenue modules work. And finally, we have a cracker of a model sitting here. We have 13 revenue models running down into 6 breakdowns, accounting logic, billing methods, billing periodicity, revenue method, and cost tracking. You move one variable, the rest, everything will move it will be an automatic model. The last slide here is, how did we do this to make sure that it passes to the masses? L1 to L8 system, so that the learning part is taken care of. I've been chased by time. So thank you so much. This much. It's a working model. It's an open source. I really wish I give you a demo sort of thing, but better time next time. Thank you so much for patiently looking out. Happy?
Thank you, Zulfiqar. And next on stage is Munim from Invento with supply chain automation.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Yeah. Let me start because we have some time constraints. So I am Munim. I came from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I am the co-founder of Invento Software Limited. So today I'm here to share a successful implementation on supply chain automation for Bangladeshi distribution business. Since we don't have much time, so I cannot go all the slides one by one. So they are actually doing business in multiple sectors, like they are selling products in e-commerce, they are doing modern trade, they are having distribution and also the retails. So all the regular problems they are facing, like they are doing the orders by email and attendance, and everything is doing via either email or a spreadsheet or in WhatsApp. So most of the cases, they don't have any proper idea what currently happening inside the company, and they don't have good analytics, what they're doing, what they're selling, and what is the outcome. So as ERPNext, as a core engine, so we have implemented like everything, all the market visits, then store visits detail for the field force and for the entire team, and also for the sales automation, then obviously for multi-layer work flow, and after all, then holistic dashboard for the channel managers, for the territory managers, and also for the owners. And previously, the delivery route was not properly connected. For example, if a delivery guy have to deliver the products, they don't have a clear picture from where to where. If they go, then what will be the best cases. So this way, they loses lots of money. So we propose the solution to have a good structure that, okay, fine, from this, you can deliver the products, and this could be the best way around. So eventually, when after 1 month of implementation, so we found out they are getting lots of purchase orders. So, and the customers are giving their purchase orders into PDF. So we have just created a PDF extractor so that the purchase order they can create, they don't need to manually copy paste the PDFs and keep it into the order. So just uploading the PDF and system will get the order. Then we have implemented the Mushok, that is government's requirement, something similar to GST. So we have implemented the Mushok 6.3, 6.5, 6.6. I know many of you don't know about this, but it's Bangladeshi compliance. So we have done a couple of things, like for the sales invoice, there are something for purchase invoice, so for stock entries. So each and every transaction have different formats. And also the automation is quite a bit challenging because of the legacy system the government have. So we have implemented that part and the mobile app. So I'm not going through all the process, just I want to share one simple story. That is when we implemented this, their attendance system, they are giving, they have to take selfies from their phone. So after 1 month of implementing this, So we are not allowing the field force or the field guys to upload the picture from the mobile phone. Then one guy is capturing picture from the photo itself. Then we have implemented blink of eyes to capture the attendance to make sure that, okay, fine, the guy is, thank you. To capture or make sure that the guy is live. And the order processing, it's pretty usual, and it's simplified the order processing so that the field force people or the salesperson can directly make the order and share the PDF and everything. The market visit is pretty standard so that everyone can see. This territory manager will create the schedule, and the field force will get the timeline, and they can directly go to the shop and update into the system. And that's for all. Though I have time limits, so the repo is uploaded into the GitHub, so anyone can access it. Thank you. Thanks all.
Thanks, Munim. Next on stage is Harsh Agrawal, who will share with us about the ONDC seller app.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Harsh Agrawal. I am a chartered accountant by qualification and a self-learned developer. So let me introduce about our company. We are Mitra.money. We are building an ecosystem around financial services plus software plus e-commerce. And we have a mission to enable ease of doing business and elevate the lifestyle of our users. So we found out about ERPNext Frappe framework in December 2020, spent 6 months to understand the framework, did some POCs. And then there was no looking back, and we started migrating our products from Springboard to ERPNext and Frappe framework. And in the journey during the migrations and building our products, ONDC came up by the government, initiated by the government. We got a chance with Frappe being incubated as the first incubation program, and we are very proud of it. And that way we have started building the ONDC integration with ERPNext users. So basically I just want to give a brief background about ONDC. ONDC is not just another app, but it's more like a network or a protocol, you can say. So I'll just give you with a use case example. We use email. So in the email, we use Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, etc. And whenever a person from Gmail sends a mail to Yahoo, both the persons can interact with each other. That's because of a network, the protocol behind the mail exchange system. So similarly, ONDC is also a protocol where the exchange of or the communication between the buyer, seller, logistics providers happen as a messaging system, you can say, where the ONDC is trying to decouple the buyers, sellers, and the logistics providers so that the e-commerce gets democratized. Everybody have a level playing field on the e-commerce world. And I'm sure today, the ONDC is at the very early stage, and going forward, ONDC is going to be the future of e-commerce, and we are proud of being one of the early adopters of ONDC. And I'll just run through a demo on ONDC. I'll just show you the life cycle, how ONDC behaves, and how the ERPNext user will be able to fulfill their orders on ONDC in the next slide. So this is one of the buyer-facing applications where the buyer logs in and does the order, make an order. So I'll just, one of the clients with whom we are implementing this, Euphoria Bakers, is one of the sellers of the ONDC network. And here the buyer selects the food or the item which they want to order. And as soon as the item is selected by the buyer, there is a quotation that gets created in the ERPNext system, which is currently as a default consumer is the default quotation which got created. And once the payment cycle is completed by the buyer on any of the buyer-facing applications, you can see that the quotation gets changed from draft mode to a submitted mode. A customer record is created, the address is created, everything is created on that. So what happens in this journey is the sales order is created. Just let the sales order get created. So here you can see the quotation is submitted, the sales order is going to be created, and from here the fulfillment cycle of the customer starts, of the seller starts. So here in the fulfillment cycle, the seller will be able to start fulfilling the order by, they have the option to cancel the order or they can create the shipment. So once the shipment is created, at the back of the shipment document, at the back end, the sales invoice is being submitted. A delivery note is being submitted to maintain the stock reconciliation and the stock balances. The shipment document is being used to track the delivery time, to track the logistics times and everything. So you can see how the process is happening on the application, where the shipment gets moved from, the order gets moved from initiated to packed to delivered. So it's just. So the sales invoice, you can see that is being submitted, and so this all the function of the accounting, that is creation of sales invoice, creation of delivery note, everything happens underneath with a click of one button, and there's no manual intervention to create a delivery note or create a sales invoice when the order is getting fulfilled. So now the shipment is one thing which is to be either manually filled up if the seller is doing a self-fulfillment, or if they are taking any kind of logistic service providers, then this part gets automated, because the buyer should come to know when the pickup has happened and when is the delivery going to happen. So you see, as soon as the pickup time is entered, the order status is picked up, and as soon as the delivery time is entered and the document is submitted, the order gets delivered for the customer, and the buyer-facing application shows that the order is completed and the order is delivered. So this is the way the journey of ONDC as a seller will work around, and this is it from my side for the small presentation on the ONDC side.